Good morning, readers. Welcome back. Remember, we're looking at two wool gloves. So in our last mini lesson, we used the illustrations in two wool gloves to describe the setting and the events of the story, right? So in this mini lesson, we are going to find the author's purpose for writing the story. Then we're going to use important details from the text to describe the author's purpose. Knowing the author's purpose helps us better understand what we read and what the author is saying. So, I'm going to say to myself, what is the author trying to show me on these pages? I'm going to read them. So we've got Daddy Squirrel. You can see the snow is starting to come down. It says a big snowstorm was coming, and the squirrel family needed a warm shelter. As the snow began to fall, Father Squirrel set off to find a warm tree hole for Mother Squirrel and their 5 babies. He looked and looked until he found a hole in a short tree. But when he peeked inside, a high voice squeaked, "This is my tree." You see that hedgehog all cuddled up? It was the voice of a spiky little hedgehog. Father Squirrel frowned and went to search somewhere else. Suddenly, oopsie, I went too far, my friends. Let's play this one. He looked and finally he found a hole in a tall tree. But when he peeked inside, a deep voice grumbled, "This is my tree." It was the big black bear. Father Squirrel frowned and went to search somewhere else. So readers, we've discussed how authors write, and they have a very specific purpose or reason for writing. That means the author is trying to tell the reader something. And I think the author's purpose on these pages is to show me how Father Squirrel loves Mother Squirrel and the 5 babies so much that he's out looking for a nice warm place for them to live, right? The text tells me there's a big snowstorm coming, but Father Squirrel looked and looked to find a warm place for his squirrel family. This is an important detail because it shows that the father squirrel wants to take care of his family. When the father squirrel can't use the first tree, he keeps searching and then looks in that big tree. There's a bear in there. But what does he do? He continues his search. He doesn't stop. So this important detail tells me Father Squirrel loves his family very much. So let's look at our chart here. It says, what's the author's purpose? So, is it to inform or describe, to give the reader information about a topic? Or is it to entertain, to tell a funny, sad, or exciting story that readers will find interesting? Or is it to persuade, to convince a reader to think or act in a different way? I think the author's purpose in Two Wool Gloves is this one right here. It's to entertain. There's an E right there. It's to entertain us. It's to tell us a fun story. And this is kind of a fun story. I really enjoyed this story. So today, when you are reading your books, either on Benchmark, books from your home, or even maybe go back to your book baggie. It's up to you. What is the author's purpose? Is it to give us information? Is it to entertain us? Or is it to persuade us to do something or to change a behavior? So go ahead, have fun.